My name is Dennis Big. I run the security for World Wrestling, and one of our wrestlers that lives down there is missing.
Okay, what's his name?
Chris Benoit.
It was a particularly brutal and vicious murder. It was something that showed some sign of real rage.
Chris was just this gentle giant.
Nobody expects their friend to kill their family. Like, what?
I can't point my finger at one thing and say, this is what caused my brother-in-law to snap.
People need to understand that that was not him. He was my hero.
I need to talk about this. If you're going to say I'm glorifying a murder, stop listening now.
It's Saturday night. I'm going to go into Laredo, Texas. We're doing the Texas Loop. I get to Laredo, and Chris, myself, and Scott Armstrong are going to ride together. And then later I get a call from Chris, and he goes, oh man, I'm not going to make it. I go, what's wrong? He goes, Daniel and Nancy have food poisoning, and I'm just trying to take care of them. And I'm like, oh man, are you good? You all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. I said, well, tomorrow we're in Houston for the pay-per-view. So he goes, okay, great. I said, okay, man. And he goes, Chavo. I go, yeah? And he goes, I love you. And I'm like, okay, brother, I love you too, man. That was weird. And I go, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm just really tired. And I said, okay, man. Okay, well, you can call me if you need to get any problem. Okay, well, I will. So then, that's it. About 5:30 in the morning, I get a text, and it was from Chris's phone. And it said, the dogs are in the enclosed pool area, and the back door is open. So I'm just half asleep, and I see this text, and I'm like, the heck is that? All of a sudden, 30 seconds later, I get another text from Nancy's phone, and it says the exact same thing. I was like, what? That's weird. I get another text right afterwards, it tells me his physical address. What is that? So I disregarded, thinking I'm picking Chris up in 3 hours at the airport. So then, I meet Scott downstairs, we go get breakfast, and I talk to him, I go, hey man, did you get a weird text from Chris? He goes, yeah, I did. I said, what did it say? And he said the exact same thing. We drive to Corpus Christi for the next show. Still no word from Chris. So the head of talent relations, Johnny Ace, asked me, hey, Chavo, have you heard from Chris? And I said, no. I said, but look, Johnny, and I bring out my phone and I show him. These are the texts that I got from Chris yesterday. And Johnny, in his raspy voice, is like, Chavo, why didn't you show us these yesterday? And I'm like, look, man, we were covering for Chris. We didn't know where he was. You didn't know where he was.
The office starting to get concerned because it was getting to be like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Vince McMahon has sent a wellness check to his house.
I was in my patrol car just riding around the county, and it was pretty close to the area when the call went out. My name is Larry Alden. I was with Fayette County Sheriff's Office. I was a lieutenant in charge of the shift that was working the day of the Benoit incident. I had been a detective for about 15 or 20 years. I'd probably see Chris Benoit once or twice a week at the gym, which was right in the middle of Fayetteville. He didn't talk a lot, and he was pretty focused on getting his workout in. I never heard anything about him. I didn't even know where he lived at until the call came out on the radio that day. I wasn't thinking of anything other than a welfare check, or maybe he was sick, maybe drunk. Didn't really know what. I pulled up on scene about the time the neighbor was walking over, and I walked up to them, and I asked if she had seen Mr. Benoit or anybody. And she said, it's been 3 or 4 days since I've seen anybody over there. There was 2 large canines in the yard. If I remember correctly, they were German Shepherds. We asked her if there was any place she could put the dogs at so we could go up there and do the welfare check. And she said, oh yeah, me and the dogs get along great. I feed them whenever they're out of town. And she jumped the fence, dogs right there with her. She walked them in there and never had to take hold to them. It was taking a little longer than I thought it should take, but then she came running out the door screaming that Daniel's dead, Daniel's dead. I went from just being a regular welfare check, okay, we got something more serious here.
So this man calls a meeting at the ring.
Dean Malenko sitting next to me. I just had this really bad feeling. Dean's like, there's something wrong. Something is not right.
That's when Vince McMahon stands up in the ring and says, we just got word that Chris Benoit, Nancy, and Daniel have all passed away. And the gasps, of course, around the ring.
I remember Vicky, because she just let out this hurling scream.
I freaked out and I started crying, and Dean kind of stood up and he grabbed my hand and he took me off to the back.
So then Vince is backstage and I walk up to Vince and I said, what happened? What happened? And I'm a little frantic. And he says, they're gone. I said, what do you mean they're gone? And he hugs me super tight. And my head's on his shoulder, like crying to Vince, like, no, like, what happened? I don't understand. Nobody understood because no one knew the details yet.
That's when all of this, all of these details start coming out about it's not just him that's dead, it's Nancy, and then Daniel's dead as well. And then that's when it just started getting out of control.
The father killed his wife and son and then committed suicide. That's what's happened here. You didn't want to believe it, can't believe it, can't be true. But it was.